Wyatt Earp's greatest distinction as Marshal of Wichita, Kansas, was based on the fact that in 100 showdowns with armed lawbreakers, he preferred to disable an opponent rather than shoot to kill. But George Peschauer, a renegade of such villainy that he was expelled from the Thompson gang of outlaws, managed to anger Wyatt into a killing temper. On the western frontier of 1875, Marshal Earp was considered reckless and foolishly quixotic to spare outlaws' lives at the risk of his own. And in the case of George Peschauer,
all right, men, check in your guns quick. When Earp shows up, nobody knows nothing about this hoorah. I'm in town on business, but Rawhide and Deacon Earp, that's my pleasure.
I beg your pardon. Are you by any chance Mr. George Peschauer?
That's right. You must be that English fella.
Oh, you can tell?
Don't worry about it, son. Time you spent a couple of months on that spread you figured on buying, you look like a cowman same as anybody else.
I shall try to be, Mr. Peschauer.
What do you say? Let's go in and get a drink.
Thank you. I'd like...
Well, if it isn't our Miss Prim.
Sorry. We haven't one vacant room.
Oh? Is your bar filled up, too? Come along, mister. I don't believe I remember your name from the letter.
Evatt. Rodney Evatt.
Ah.
I don't like the name Miss Prim. Do you mind if I call you Miss Primrose?
The guest is always right.
Nobody ever gets anywhere with her, son. She's a mama's girl. Proper and prim.
Well, I've been here 2 days, and this is the first time she's spoken. I thought customs were a little bit more breezy out here in Western America.
Well, you didn't speak to me.
Well, that's true, but I thought the lady was supposed to speak first.
hello, Mr. Peschauer.
Hello, Deacon. Son, this is Deacon Wyatt Earp, the big law and order man in this town.
Marshal Earp, I've heard a lot about you.
Who did that shooting just now?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't, huh? You're a liar. You still want to say you don't know anything about it?
Look, Earp, you run it over me and Chad Pierce once in Ellsworth. Don't try it here. Now, you didn't see this shooting. Try and find a witness that'll say they saw me.
You're still a liar.
Now, gentlemen. Aren't those fighting words here in Western America?
Come on, son. We got business to talk over. He's wearing guns. I'm not.
I'll say that I saw him.
Did you, Miss Cole?
No. But if it'll help you put him in jail, well, I'm morally certain that he and his crowd did it.
So am I. But you stay out of this. Mr. Peschauer is a real nasty man. Is that, Englishman a friend of his?
I don't know. Mr. Evatt checked in yesterday.
Well, they couldn't be friends. Mr. Evatt looks like a newcomer to me.
Yes, he is.
Well, I guess he's over 21. Say hello to your mother for me.
Mr. Earp.
Look, there's nothing I can do, Miss Cole.
But you know that man's going to cheat Mr. Evatt in some way. Why isn't Peschauer the one that Ben Thompson refused to ride with anymore?
Yeah?
Then Mr. Evatt's in real danger.
Well, he's liable to be bilked out of some money, yeah.
Well, can't you warn him or tell him that...
Look, the British are as stubborn a group as we have. A lot of them have bought ranches in Texas and Arizona territory. If they've been cheated, they kept their mouths shut and worked their own way out of it. Don't you worry about him. He'll be all right. You just help your mother take care of this hotel.
Now, these two sections have year-round grass. The little stony creek runs right through the middle of the place.
Well, it sounds ideal for cattle.
She'll carry 5,000 head, easy.
Well, where do I buy the cattle?
From the same place you buy the ranch. George Peschauer and Company.
Good. Oh, that simplifies matters. I'd like to see the place. Could we ride down that day?
Well, not today, son. It's 150 miles.
100? Well, that would be a bit of a gallop, eh?
I say, young chappie, you must be a blinking Britisher.
Why, yes, I am.
Fancy that. And how's your fuddy-duddy old queen?
You take that back and apologize to my friend.
I'm apologizing to no one. Kings, queens, or even you.
No. No, he's mine.
Nor you.
Stop it!
I'll fix you.
No! Mr. Earp!
You killed him.
I had to. He'd got you.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Thank you, man, for saving one's life is a...
No, forget it, son.
I won't forget it, Mr. Peschauer. I won't forget it. This man tried to shoot me. My friend here shot him first. Is that the way it happened?
Mr. Everett and the cowhand were fist fighting. Then Mr. Everett knocked him down and he drew a gun from the rack. Mr. Peschauer shot first.
With what? With this?
You're under arrest.
For saving my friend Everett?
No, for not checking this.
Not Marshal. It's obvious that...
There'll be an inquest. You can tell your story then. You men pick him up and carry him to Dr. Fabrique's office.
He doesn't need a doctor. He's dead.
Dr. Fabrique is also our coroner. Come on, we'll take a walk over to the jail.
That Marshal out of his mind. Mr. Peschauer saved my life, and now he's being arrested. It doesn't make sense.
Well, you're the one who's addled.
Addled? Oh?
Peschauer's a killer. Why, he didn't care about saving you. He saw a chance to kill a man, and he took it.
I beg to differ with you. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go bail for Mr. Peschauer.
Wait. Just answer one question, please.
Of course.
Is Peschauer trying to sell you something?
A ranch and some cattle? You American woman. It's amazing.
Cora. Yes, Mother.
Lock the door, lock the door. Oh, this is dreadful. Right in our own lobby. Oh, we never should have bought this hotel. And you, poor child, had to see it. I don't see how you managed not to faint.
Now, Mother, you know I never...
What's to become of us? And of this hotel?
Just business as usual, Mother.
Oh, Cora, how can you be so calm? A shooting right in our lobby.
But it's going to be a lot worse.
What?
I just finished talking to Jed, and he said that...
Jed?
One of our bartenders, Mother.
Oh, yes, Jed. He's one of our bartenders.
Yes. He said that Mr. Everett is going to buy a ranch and a lot of cattle for 10,000 pounds. Why, Mother, that's almost $50,000.
Oh, well, that boy has an extremely rich family in England if he wants to buy a ranch.
But, Mother, he's dealing with George Peschauer.
Oh. Oh. Is he the man who shot the other man?
Yes.
Oh, but the ranch deal, Cora, that's simply a business transaction. What on earth's worrying you?
Jed says the ranch isn't any good, and that most of the cattle were stolen.
Oh, dear.
We can't let Peschauer cheat Mr. Everett.
What can we do about it?
Mother, I want you to go to Mr. Earp. Ask him to investigate this.
Me? Oh, Cora.
But he'll listen to you. And then we can get Jed to tell him about Peschauer's ranch and the cattle.
Oh, no. No, that's quite impossible. It wouldn't do at all.
Well, why not?
But it just wouldn't, that's all. Mr. Peschauer might think we were interfering and... Well, it just isn't a matter that a lady can discuss.
All right. I'm not a lady.
Cora! Oh, I didn't bring it.
Here's the bail money for my friend. I don't know much about your American law, Mr. Earp, but I have the distinct impression that it follows most of the English statutes. Or am I in error?
Mr. Evatt, you're not in error. We derive from English law.
Then any offense less than murder is bailable.
True. But killing a man in a gunfight is murder, technically.
I say now, Mr. Earp, that's not quite cricket. You heard Miss Cora admit.
Mr. Evatt, your friend's going to stay in jail until a coroner's jury exonerates him.
Then it's obvious there's bad blood between you and Mr. Peschauer.
Look, he's a killer, a cheat, and a rustler. Or I could use more profane terms if you'd like.
I suppose you have proof of what you say.
Yeah, I caught him cheating at poker once.
Now, that's only your word.
Do you doubt my word?
Mr. Peschauer defended me at the risk of his own life. I think I should defend him. Seems to me I'm obliged, you know. Yes, I think you're a liar.
Marshal Earp, what happened?
We had a bit of a row.
Why did you pick on him? Peschauer's the one that ought to have his head knocked off.
It was a beautiful right punch. Maybe I should have called you out with revolvers.
Are you good with them?
Not too bad. I shot for England at the Bisley matches. Miss Primrose. I am sorry. I vaguely remember the scent of perfume, but I thought I was in the land of dreams.
You still are, if you plan to deal with George Peschauer.
Oh? You agree with Mr. Earp?
Yes. If you'd only listen, you'd understand why...
I'm sorry. I'm being stubborn, I know. It's a bad habit with us British. We're loyal to our friends.
I tried, Miss Cohen.
But Jed says the ranch is no good, that the cattle were rustled.
Mr. Evatt should demand proof in writing. Why are you so concerned?
Well, it's nothing personal. It's just that he's a guest at the hotel, and, well, we always look after our guests.
Now, well, take my advice and forget it.
You mean just stand by and watch a visitor being cheated out of $50,000?
Miss Cora, if he goes through with the deal and finds out that he's being swindled, he can always swear out a warrant against Peschauer and sue him. Besides, there are an awful lot of Englishmen. Why don't you find yourself a smart one?
Why, Mr. Earp, you don't think I'm interested in Mr. Evatt?
Yes, I do. Now, look, I told you back at the hotel to stay away and not make trouble with Peschauer. Young England is going to stick with him to the last ditch. He'll break your heart.
Good day, Mr. Earp.
We sure made a monkey out of Earp. Justifiable homicide. Even old Dr. Bink gave him what for.
I wasted the coroner's time.
Hey, I've been waiting to ask you. Where'd you get that bruise on your jaw?
Oh, a bit of a shandy-gow.
Earp. He done it?
Well, it's all over now. I suggest we forget about it.
No, we won't forget it. Hey, Deacon. Big John Law. Punching my young friend Evatt.
You want to make that your business?
I want this young man to know that you're not a fair sample of an American. When you're not wearing your guns, you're as yellow as a buzzard's beak.
I'll take them off.
Now, leave them on. And when you and I meet, I'll be wearing mine.
You do that.
Is Mr. Earp afraid of you?
You saw the way he acted, didn't you?
Didn't seem afraid to me. Looked like he was trying to hold his temper.
Just bluff, son, bluff. When I'm wearing my guns, the man that's not afraid of me is a fool or an idiot. Now, come on. Let's go wet our whistle. Talk about that cattle spread. Well, Miss Prim.
I'll be with you in a moment, Mr. Peschauer.
No hurry at all, young man.
I'd like a word with you, if I may, Miss Gill.
Why, certainly. Is something wrong with our service?
No, but there is something wrong with me.
Oh?
It's really quite important. Could we go into your parlor?
Well, just for a moment. Mother's busy in the dining room, and I have to watch the desk.
Just for a moment. I'm afraid I'm a stubborn coot.
Quite.
But you and Mr. Earp wouldn't have warned me against a man unless you had what seems to you a good reason.
No, we wouldn't.
Well, what is the reason?
Thought you had a tight hobble on that Britisher.
What do you mean?
Just straight into the parlor with Cora Gill.
He'll be running back in here for a drink to warm him up after he's talked to her for 5 minutes.
And Mr. Earp says that you should ask for proof of everything in writing. I haven't any proof.
You must think me quite a simpleton. I had no intention of buying from Mr. Peschauer sight unseen.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that.
You see, the ranch was listed with Higby and Pelham in London. They're quite reliable brokers. He sent me a complete description of the ranch with photographs.
Well, it's your money, Mr. Earp.
But I must look at the ranch, you know. I mean, in justice to Mr. Peschauer.
Tell me, do you plan to take much cash with you?
I have given you a dreadful impression of stupidity. No, I carry a Bank of England drops.
You're not stupid.
Now, isn't that odd?
What?
Well, how happy I feel just to hear you say, I'm not stupid. It's quite true, you know. I've been in love with you for the last half hour at least.
Longer than that.
Really?
Excuse me, Miss Cora. Mr. Peschauer wants to see Mr. Evatt right away.
I'll tell him in a few minutes.
No. No, he mustn't get the idea
You're
that...
quite right. You wait right here. I've got much more to say to you.
And I've got a lot to think about.
You wanted to see me?
The paper just came out with a bad weather report for tomorrow.
Oh?
I think we'd better hit the trail, son. We can cross most of the creeks before the rains flood them.
Well, when would you want to leave?
Right away.
I'll have to go upstairs and pack my gear.
Oh, I'm sorry to rush you this way, but when it rains this time of year, that trail gets mighty bad. Earp and his fool laws.
Oh, Miss Cora, there's bad weather coming up. Mr. Peschauer thinks we ought to go for the ranch right away.
No. No, please don't go with him.
Hey, what is this?
Well, Cora and I have an understanding.
What's the idea of telling him not to go with me?
You're a cheat. And a crook.
You've been listening to Wyatt Earp, huh?
Now, look, let's not have any of this.
I'll ask her. What else does Earp say?
Earp doesn't say anything. I say it.
Why, you stay out of this. I think not.
No, he'll shoot.
Fuck you.
I want Earp.
Where are you going?
I left my gun in my room.
You, going after him? Why don't you let me and the boys take Peschauer?
He offered me the fight.
But you're too sore at him, Wyatt. You might kill him.
That's right.
No, sir.
Oh?
A lot of folks heard Peschauer rawhide you. If you kill him, folks gonna say it was a grudge fight. You've been up against a lot of men as bad as Peschauer, and only wounded him or buffaloed him.
Well, this is different.
Why is it different?
Because Peschauer really hates me. The rest of them were just drunks or killers paid to do a job. Men in a corner like Ben Thompson. I just can't risk winging Peschauer.
But he'll be the first man you ever killed.
Well, there's always got to be a first.
Oh, no, you're not.
It's my job.
It's not your job. The fight's between him and Mr. Earp.
No, it's my fight.
You can't do anything with a gun. Mr. Earp's been in 100 fights. He can take care of Peschauer. You let him handle this.
No. A man must shoot his own tigers.
Well, you can't love me and do this.
I love you very much.
Barney, you seen Wyatt Earp?
No. Guess I reckon he's over to jail. Do you want to see him?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see him.
Keep away from me. Get out of range.
Mr. Earp, stay out of this. I don't want you, stupid. I want Earp.
No, I'm your man. I don't know the etiquette of these things, Mr. Peschauer. I advise you to go for your gun.
All right. I'll take both of you.
Why'd you butt in?
Well, it's my job. He's not dead, is he?
No. Where'd you aim?
Shoulder shot?
You hit him in the chest. Why don't you aim for the heart?
Well, I had to spare his life. He saved mine, you know.
All right. Take him on over to Doc Fabric's office. Give me your gun.
Oh. Of course.
There, dear, there's no need to carry on so. I told you, if we had stayed in Chicago...
Oh, if we'd stayed in Chicago and I'd married Mr. Donaldson. Stop it! Stop it!
Now, dear, if you had just listened to me... Oh, that English boy, did he get hurt?
No, ma'am.
Oh, thank heaven. There you see, Cora, now everything's going to be all right.
Oh, I begged him not to go, but he went anyway.
Mr. Evart's a fine man. I think he saved Mr. Peschauer's life twice.
Saved his life twice.
Well, he didn't kill him, and he kept me from temptation.
Well, then, what did happen to Mr. Peschauer?
Well, he'll live. He got shot in the chest. Miss Cora, I told you there were an awful lot of Englishmen, but I think you ought to stop looking.
Did you put Rodney in jail? Have you no shame? A man who went out to meet a desperado. A man who might have saved your life. A man... Rodney. Oh, Rodney.
Oh, Mr. Earp, you had him up your sleeve all the time. You know, he's so much like that boy in Chicago. Why, you know, I don't think that Mr. Donaldson knows, but there was that other boy.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
'Twas live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
One of the toughest problems Wyatt Earp had to repeatedly contend with in taming the wild and lawless cowtown of Wichita was mob rule, when otherwise respectable citizens, and some not so respectable, tried to take the law into their own hands.
Where's that coffee, Tex?
Come on up.
Morning, Shorty.
Howdy do.
How's things at the Rainbow Ranch? Some coffee?
No thanks. Well, we're losing cattle now and then.
You're not the only one. Every ranch of the 100 miles of Wichita has been losing cows lately.
Including us.
Well, maybe the rustling's over with now, after what I just seen.
What'd you see?
I seen Bill Slocum in a gully out between the Salt Flats and Miller Creek.
Well, that's our range.
He had a fire going and a cow roped on the ground.
Whose cow? One of his?
No, dude. One of yours.
What?
Ah, I seen the brand plain on her hide.
Maybe Bill Slocum's been doing all this rustling all along, Duke.
Sure looks like it. Using the running iron, I reckon.
Now, I didn't exactly see him use the running iron. It might be that he had that cow tied up for some other reason.
Sure. Why else would he have a fire going? Unless to heat up an iron to change a brand.
Yeah. Why else?
You know, we ought to make a call on Bill Slocum. Teach him the error of his ways, Duke.
Sit down, Shorty.
No thanks, Duke. I gotta go back to Rainbow. So long, fellas.
Thanks for the information,
So long.
Shorty. Now we get that river bottom land that Bill Slocum claims is his for nothing.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's a good thing we got Shorty for a witness.
Sure is. No one would believe it if one of my riders claimed he saw Bill rustling. Tex, you better get the boys. We're going to a party.
Where do I pick up Bill? At his ranch?
No, he'll be at the cattlemen's meeting this afternoon in Wichita. We'll take him in hand there.
You think that's a good idea? Wyatt Earp might cause us some trouble.
This happened out of town. It isn't any of Earp's business. And if he's as smart as people claim he is, he'll be looking in the other direction when we pick up Bill.
You're the boss.
Is the meeting over? Hi, Moss. Bill?
What?
Mr. Delaney, how'd the meeting end up?
Oh, like all meetings, a lot of talk, no action. Me, I'm a man who wants a little action.
Like what?
Well, I'd rather not say. But one thing I do know, if I lose many more cattle to the rustlers, I'm going into bankruptcy.
Maybe you ought to hire a couple of range detectives yourself.
There you are, Moss.
No, I can do my own detecting. If I catch anyone following my herds around, I'll string them up to the tallest tree in Kansas.
That wouldn't be very wise, Mr. Delaney.
You got a better idea?
Yeah, you catch anybody rustling, you ought to turn them over to the proper authorities and let them give them a fair trial.
Fair trial? Why, the courts would let a man like that go scot-free 9 times out of 10.
Well, if he's innocent, naturally. You forget that all of us are innocent until proven guilty. I'll see you.
Yeah. Well, it's plain to see he's got no cows to lose. Earp or no Earp, if I catch me a rustler, I'm going to see just how far his neck will stretch. Well, so long, Bill. Say hello to the wife and the young'uns.
All right.
somewheres, Bill?
Going in that saloon if it's any of your business, which it ain't. Says he's going in for a drink, Duke.
You haven't got time for that drink, Bill. There's your horse. Get on it.
What's the idea of pulling a gun on me? Get on your horse like Duke says.
Put him on his horse.
Where are we taking him, Duke?
The Cottonwood Grove at Cowskin Camp.
Wyatt, Duke Wilson and his boys just buffaloed Bill Slocum. They're taking him out of town. I heard Duke say something about the Cottonwood Grove at Cowskin Camp. Looks like they planned to lynch Bill.
You all set, Tex?
All set, Duke.
Shorty Beckett saw it all, so we have proof, if we need it.
No use my telling you you got the wrong man. You know who's been doing the rustling around here.
Much obliged for the river bottom land, Bill. After you slip the noose over his head, I'll hit the horse.
Get the rope off that horse and turn it loose.
You're sticking your nose into something that's none of your business, Wyatt.
Well, I figure lynching's every man's business, Duke.
Your authority don't extend beyond the town limits of Wichita.
You must be mistaken. Seems to me I got quite a lot of authority right here in my hand. You can't kidnap a man on our main street and bring him out here to hang him, or did somebody forget to tell you that? All right, Tex, cut him loose. I said cut him loose!
That's for past favors.
Man's a proven rustler, you know that.
Yeah, who proved it?
Shorty Beckett saw him using a running iron on one of my cows this morning.
Why, you...
Take it easy, Bill. That's hard in the knuckles. Go and climb on your horse. We'll start back to town.
Well, I guess we know now how you feel about rustlers, Mr. Wyatt Earp.
Look, proof of a man's guilt is only decided by a court of law. If you get any charges to bring against Mr. Slocum, you do it in the proper manner. And we'll have a trial by judge and jury. They'll decide whether your charges are true or not. That's the way civilized people do it, Duke, just in case you're interested.
You haven't heard the last of this.
What are you gonna do about it, Duke?
Tex, you hightail back to the ranch with the boys and get your guns. Meet me at Allen's Corner about an hour before sundown.
All right.
Heard about things like lynching parties, but that was too close. Wyatt, ever had anything like that happen to you?
No. Never worn a noose yet, but I think there are a lot of boys around Wichita that got some hemp all picked out for me.
Mighty awful feeling. You can't do anything about it. You can't reason with anybody. You can't convince them.
Well, I tell you, Bill, half the trouble of being a marshal is trying to protect men from lynch mobs.
If it hadn't been for you, I'd be dead right now. Sure. And what would they have done to those guys if they had lynched me?
Well, they'd have been arrested, tried.
Sure, and I'd have been dead. And the law would have just pointed their finger at them and said, you're bad, bad boys. Isn't that right?
No, you're wrong. They'd have been found guilty. come on, get hold of yourself. Try to think of something else.
All right, what do I do now?
You stay here in jail under my custody. Till I can prove your case one way or the other.
Stay here in jail? You just got through telling me that one of your biggest troubles is keeping away lynch mobs. If you keep me in there, they're bound to try and get me.
Now look, cool off and try and forget about it. You're gonna stay here.
Getting out of here. Now look, if I'm gonna die, I'm not gonna do it like a sitting duck. I'm gonna take someone with me. Wyatt, you saved my life. I don't want it to be you. Now get out of my way.
I didn't think you'd fall for anything like that. You know, that gun isn't loaded.
I know that trick, and I know it's loaded.
Well, if I were you, I'd break it open and make sure.
I know that trick, too, and I know it's loaded.
Are you sure, Mr. Slocum?
Don't make me pull the trigger, Wyatt.
You know, I keep that gun unloaded because it's a good test on prisoners. I've had a couple of them pull the trigger on me.
You're bluffing. I'm sorry, Wyatt. I could have killed you. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think you wanted to really pull that trigger.
No, I guess it didn't. Look, doesn't that prove to you I'm innocent?
No, it just proves you're not a murderer. It's a long road from rustling cattle to shooting a man in cold blood.
But I am innocent.
Then you ought to be willing to stand trial. The lynch mob, they don't go by the law and they don't go by evidence, but the judge and jury will.
How do I know?
Settle it in court, Bill. Otherwise, you're going to have that thing hanging over your head the rest of your life, and I can't keep you in protective custody forever.
All right, put me on trial.
Good. I'll make the arrangements with Judge Jewett.
What? Sure want to thank you.
Come on, I'll put you in. So.
Well, thanks, boys. I'll tell the marshal. Wyatt. Duke Wilson and his men are in the joints around Keno Corner talking up a mob to come after Bill Slocum.
I had the scheduled time pretty well. That's why I'm eating supper now. I didn't think I'd have time for it later.
He's got a lot of half-drunk troublemakers ready to follow him.
Drunks usually make up the major portion of any mob.
You might need the townspeople to back you up. Shall I ring the triangle, Wyatt?
No, don't ring the triangle. I think the best way to handle a lynch mob like this is for me and my deputies to try and reason with them. If I had a mob backing me up, too, it's liable to bring on the fight they're all spoiling for. Cause wholesale slaughter on both sides. Come on. Here they come.
That's far enough. You're digging your own grave, Wyatt. We want Bill Slocum. Now get out of our way or we'll mow you down.
Duke, you take one more step toward me and I'll kill you.
Go on, Duke. Don't let that Tim Horn bluff you.
If any of you think I'm bluffing, just take one step forward. I got 5 slugs in here and 2 barrels loaded with buckshot to spray both sides of the street. Between them, I don't think I could miss more than half of you. Well, Mr. Delaney, I'm surprised to see you with this irresponsible bunch. Most of them half drunk, all of them just itching to string somebody up. They don't care who or what the reason is. Yeah. I guess the opinion I once had of you being a fair man was all wrong.
Well, I've been losing a lot of cows lately, Wyatt. And I sure feel any man that's a rustler should be strung up to the highest tree in all of Kansas.
Well, I'm not saying a rustler shouldn't be punished, Mr. Delaney. But why don't you let the law decide what punishment should fit the crime? Let them carry it out.
Law? With a rigged jury, I reckon.
The jury will be made up of cowmen. Now, who'd be better qualified to decide whether a man's a rustler or not than men like yourself?
And you figure to give Bill a trial? Not let him go loose like Duke here claims?
Bill's going to trial tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. The charge of rustling. Judge Jewett tells me he's planning on having you as foreman of the jury.
Well, maybe he's right. Maybe that's the right way to do it.
Oh, no, he's just trying to grease you up, Jeff.
You lied to me when you said Wyatt figured to let Bill go free.
Yeah, what makes you think he won't?
Because one thing about Wyatt, he don't lie. If he says Bill Slocum's going on trial, and with me, foreman of the jury, well, then that's so. Come on, break it up. What are you hanging around here for? Come on.
Hold it!
All you men are carrying guns in violation of a city ordinance. Before you start back to your saloons, you walk ahead of me to Judge Jewett's office and pay your fines. Guns are not to be worn within the city limits of Wichita. In the future, I advise you all to remember that. It'll save you a lot of money.
Now get walking. Go on, move!
Well, good evening, Bill. I had your dinner, huh?
Yeah, I didn't eat very much. I lost my appetite.
I got word out to your wife. Told her you'd be staying in town tonight on business. Didn't want her to worry about you.
Much obliged. Oh, and thanks, too, Wyatt, for stopping that gang of drunks from pulling me out of here.
Oh, forget it. Now, you're going to stand trial at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I think you're innocent, Bill. But thinking's not enough. I got to have proof. Otherwise, that jury just might see fit to bring in a verdict of guilty. You know what that means?
I thought a man had to be proven guilty, not innocent.
Well, that's the usual way. But everyone's a little touchy about losing cattle. They're just liable to let the circumstantial evidence carry enough weight to prove your guilt. You better give me some idea where I can locate most of your herd, and I'll take a ride out there first thing in the morning and have a look-see. Maybe we can figure out something.
Morning, Mr. Earp.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Grjngo.
What are you doing up so early?
Well, I came to get my horse, but my key doesn't work.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I changed the lock. I'm going to have to give you a new key.
Well, I'm glad you finally told me about it.
Oh, you want your horse, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to take a little ride in the country.
Well, this is kind of a funny day to be taking a ride. I heard there's going to be a big time over in town today. What with Bill Slocum standing trial and all.
Yeah, well, I'll be back in plenty of time for that.
Court's in session. Quiet in the courtroom. We have the case against Bill Slocum, accused of rustling. Stand up, Bill. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, of course.
You don't need that, the course in there.
Simmer down, Paul. Bill wants to emphasize the fact that he thinks he's innocent. Let him. I don't see the counsel for the defense. Any of you gents know where Wyatt Earp is?
What's Wyatt Earp got to do with the trial, Judge?
He's going to act as defense counsel.
Ain't that a little irregular, Judge?
Well, it would be ordinarily, but Wyatt asked me if he could. I said yes, which makes it regular.
Well, I guess it don't matter much, seeing as how we got enough evidence to hang Bill anyway. Only hope Wyatt ain't as fast with his tongue as he is with his guns.
Now, let's get on with the case. Wyatt will show up at any time. Bill, you better step over here at the stand and give us your side of the story.
Raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. You swear to tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Stand.
And you'll never get a cowman to believe that you had that fire burning for any reason but to heat up a running iron.
Like I said, I roped that cow before dawn. I had to wait for it to get light.
What were you doing putting your rope on a Duke cow? She ain't your property.
While I was waiting for it to get light enough to see that Duke brand plane, I started the fire to fix my breakfast.
Why were you so curious about the brand on a Duke cow? To see if you could blot it out some way?
I've been losing a lot of stock lately, both cows and calves, and I thought that cow was mine. I was certain of it.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
In my courtroom, Wyatt?
Oh, nothing will go wrong, I assure you, Honor.
Proceed.
Are you trying to say that you think Duke Wilson's been stealing your cows?
I am, and I was trying to prove it.
It ain't bad enough that you rustle from a man, but you got to turn around and accuse him of doing it to you.
I'd like to say a few words to all of you.
I object, Judge. I got the floor here, and I intend to keep it.
Let Wyatt speak his piece. He's gone out and gotten some evidence. Maybe it'll settle this case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Murdoch, would you give me a hand?
Glad to.
Now, one of the things you cowmen should have taken into consideration before taking for granted that Mr. Slocum here was the rustler was the almost impossible task for Bill to change a brand like Duke, which has got 4 letters in it, into his own brand, the bar D, which has only got 1 letter with a small bar running through it. Now, if for no other reason, I figured Bill was innocent because of this.
Well, there's something to it.
But now take a look how easy it is to change Bill's bar D brand into the Duke brand, simply by blotting out the small bar that runs through the D on the branding iron and adding the 3 letters U-K-E.
Maybe Slocum ain't guilty. You don't know.
Now, if you excuse me, I have a witness I'd like to bring in. Now, whose cow would you say this was?
Why, that's one of Bill Slocum's cows. Got his brand, Bar D.
All right, we know it's Bill's cow. Now, Mr. Delaney, it's pretty easy, isn't it, to tell which calf belongs to which cow?
Easiest thing in the world. If the calf ain't hers, the cow won't have nothing to do with it.
All right, now, if this cow had a calf, what brand would be on the calf?
Ooh, the same brand as the cow, of course.
The Bar D brand, in other words.
Yeah?
Well, now, what if the calf had a different brand than the Bar D?
Well, that'd be rustling, plain and simple.
And, Mr. Delaney, how would you identify the rustler?
The rustlers be them that's got their brand on the calf.
Thank you. Mr. Grjngo?
Well, look at that. It's Duke what's the rustler. It ain't Bill Slocum.
You two stay there.
Let us have them 2, Wyatt. We'll give them what they figure to give to Bill Slocum. Only we'll give it to 'em proper.
Order. That's a fine way for a jury to behave.
Your Honor, I'll put these 2 men under arrest.
Good. And I'm dismissing the case against Bill Slocum.
I'd like to say a few more words, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, Wyatt.
Now, you men got to get it through your thick skulls that the days of lynching are over on this frontier. If you continue ignoring the law, you can bet your bottom dollar we'll never get out of the woods at all. Ollie, I want to take him to jail. We got a nice cell and 2 bunks waiting for him.
Orders adjourned.
Well, just saying thanks doesn't sound like much, but thanks a lot. Gotta be getting on my way. My family will start worrying. See you soon, Wyatt.
See you, Bill.
Come on, baby. Go on. You did a fine job, Wyatt. You saved Bill's life.
Well, I tell you, Mr. Murdoch, you got to kind of give credit where credit's due. Had quite a bit of help from that calf and its mother.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
Nothing on him to identify him. Paul, his horse must be out there. Go check the saddlebags, will you?
All right.
You got one shot in the small of the back from the rear, one shot through the wishbone from the front. You say you had this gun pointed at you when you swung around from the cash box and fired.
That's right, Wyatt.
Isn't that kind of a risky thing to do? I mean, firing into another man's gun?
Impulse, I guess. Just flashed through my mind. I saw the gun lying in the cash box, and I thought I could surprise him. I did.
You swung around and fired. It's pretty good shooting for anybody, much less a bookkeeper.
Most men know how to shoot.
Well, you're either an expert or you're pretty lucky.
You're questioning me like you don't believe me.
No, not at all, Harry. I'm just marveling. In my business, marvels never cease. Bookkeeper fires 2 shots, both shots hit the mark. How come you put the second shot in the back?
The first one must have spun him around. I thought I missed him. I thought he turned to run, and so I let go a second one. I didn't know until I looked at him that I'd hit him the first time and must have spun him.
Well, the horse out there belongs to him, Wyatt. Every one of them's got an owner. None of the owners is him.
Well, that just doesn't make sense. A man's gonna try and pull a robbery without a getaway horse. Maybe he was working with somebody. Take another look. Look for a lone rider with a spare horse.
Why don't we stop being policemen, Wyatt, and give Harry credit for a good job well done? By nightfall, he'll be a public hero. Drop in the Texas house. I'll stand treat myself.
Thanks.
Well, maybe Paul's right. Harry, let me be the first to congratulate you.
Thanks, Wyatt.
I'll take a look at the wanted posters tonight. Maybe there's a reward for you. Ollie, you stay here. I'll get Doc Fabrique to come over and make a coroner's report.
Right. Wyatt, I located the horse.
Uh-huh.
Black's corral. I wasn't even thinking of asking Black, just telling him about the robbery. It's when I told him what the dead man looked like.
You identify him?
This time I'm ahead of you. Dead man's name was Luke Miller. Horse's brand was Double B. That's a Texas outfit camped in the creek. You know, doesn't seem much like a robber, does he?
If you're mixed up now, take a look at this. This'll really confuse you.
It's Harry Drew with a mustache.
I was kind of hoping you wouldn't catch the resemblance, at least not so quick.
Harry Doland. Remember the Jesse James gang? Wanted in Kansas City for robbery and murder. You suspected him?
No. I was looking for the dead man. Instead, I find the hero who shot him. I'll look through this old file once in a month of Sundays. Why'd I have to be such a bird dog this one time?
Yeah, know how you feel. Seems like such a likable fella. Nice, hard-working, likable fella.
Well, it's more than that. Ollie was talking to Harry while Doc was making out his coroner's report, and he told Ollie that his wife's coming in on tomorrow morning stage.
Ooh, rough. Tell you what, Wyatt, I'll toss you for who has to pick him up.
I can wait. Right now, I want to get a wire off to Kansas City. Get some more information on Harry. I'll take a ride out to the creek first thing in the morning. Have a talk with the dead man's outfit. By the time I get back, we ought to have some word from Kansas City police. I hope you have a quiet night. I hope so.
Wyatt.
None of us ever did get to know Luke Miller very well. Now he's dead, huh?
Yep.
Well, he was sort of a sour cuss. He liked his own company better than ours.
You ever hear much about his past?
Well, he wasn't the kind of fellow you'd ask about his past. Saw him shoot the head off a rattler from horseback once. Well, none of us thought we'd like to argue with him.
Think he might have been the gunman on the Dodge?
Oh, I don't know. Could be. Wouldn't be the first time an outlaw hid himself in a cow outfit. Sure, I'd heard talk he'd been with the Jesse James gang, but... Oh, well, you know how cowpokes talk.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Murray. See you around. new?
Yeah. Your answer came from Kansas City.
Huh?
They want him.
Oh, by the way, the westbound stage come through yet?
No, it's running late. You pick up anything at the cow camp?
Oh, just westback talk. It's a funny thing, though. The idea's got around the outfit that the dead man...
Luke Miller?
Yeah, used to ride with the Jesse James gang.
Him, too? That sure is funny. What do you make of it?
I don't intend to make anything of it. Kansas City's got the first call on Harry. As far as we're concerned here, he's a paid-up hero. Look, why don't you put a couple of clean blankets in cell 2? Harry might as well be comfortable until he leaves us. Huh?
All right.
Come in. Oh, morning, Wyatt.
Morning, Harry.
You'll excuse me if I have to hurry. Got to meet my wife. What a celebration we had last night. By the way, I don't remember seeing you there.
Well, I was working.
What brings you out so early this morning? More questions?
Kansas City just answered my telegram. The charge is still active.
Just when I send for my wife. Just when I think I'm safe.
How long will you get in Kansas City?
30 years. Me and another prisoner broke loose on the way to the pen.
That wasn't any robbery you killed yesterday, was it?
Listen, Wyatt. My wife didn't know anything bad about me until I was caught and tried. She lived on the farm next to me in Missouri when we were kids. And even after I was caught and tried, it didn't make any difference to her. She would have waited for me. 30 years. No woman's gonna wait 30 years. I had to be free.
Look, Harry, it's not gonna do you any good to tell me all that.
I was too young to get in the war. But I was there when Jesse and Frank James came riding home. I listened to Frank talk one night. He told about how the banks and the railroads were running it over us, and it seemed right to fight it. At the time, it seemed right.
Harry, there's nothing I can do.
Oh, look, Wyatt, you've known me all these months. I've been living honestly, just waiting for this chance to bring Ann out here. Put an end to all this grief and misery. Let me show... Not taking any chances, are you, Marshal?
I'm sorry. Force of habit. You were going to show me something.
Forget it. Come on, let's go.
Hold it.
All that talk frighten you, Marshal?
No, just the part about your wife.
I apologize for that.
She's going to have to be told.
Shouldn't be hard for a man like you.
Well, I was thinking it might be easier on her if you met the coach, brought her up here, and told her yourself. All right, I admit it. It'll be easier on me, too.
You'd let me bring her up here?
Don't worry, my deputies and I will be watching the front and rear. I'll give you to sundown. Say what you have to say.
Thanks. Oh, what I wanted to show you was my bank book. Honest money, honestly saved.
Yeah, I know, Harry. Come on.
Good looking, isn't she?
What'd you expect?
Oh, Wyatt, you're kind of hard to figure. Giving a fellow
Never
like
mind.
Go keep an eye on the hotel.
Isn't it almost time for dinner, Harry? I'm starved.
Almost sundown.
What's wrong, darling? You've been trying so hard to be cheerful all afternoon.
Anne caught up with me.
They found out? Here? How, Harry? How?
Luke showed 2 days ago.
Luke Miller? Well, that shouldn't have... You escaped together. Why should he...
He followed me. Found out I was working for wages, living decently. He wanted $5,000 or he turned me in.
What did you do?
I killed him.
Oh, Harry.
See, Anne, can't get away from it.
Don't talk like that.
The law's outside waiting to take me.
Why, Harry? Why did you have to kill him? Why didn't you give him the money? He would have gone away.
The crazy part about it is they don't want me for the killing of Luke. I made it look like I shot him as a common robber. As a matter of fact, the townsfolk are celebrating me as a hero. What the marshal wants me for is Kansas City. They dug up an old poster of me, yellowed and dusty with age.
You shouldn't have run away, Harry. I told you should have stayed and made it up, whatever you had coming. You can't live like this, killing to stay free.
Man, please don't talk like
But
that.
what'll you do? You can't keep on running. You want me to live like Jesse James' wife? You told me yourself how it was with her. Always waiting and dreading. Smiling and lying to her children. Must it be like that for us, Harry?
I'm afraid so. Either that way or not at all. I don't ever intend to go back to Kansas City.
Paul?
Okay. You want to get those affidavits on the noon coach. Better hurry. I got it when you're loaded.
I'm finished.
Might as well tell you, Wyatt, there's some nasty talk going around town.
Usually is.
People don't like to be fooled. They don't like to spend money buying drinks for a public hero one day and the next day's in jail.
What's Harry supposed to do? Give him the money back?
Oh, it's not Harry they're mad at. It's you. So be careful when you make the rounds.
You know, Paul, one of these days the sun's going to rise on Wichita and there's not going to be a single citizen mad at me. That's the day I turn in my badge.
Eddie, can you get this in the mailbag for me?
Can I help you, miss?
I'd like a revolver.
A revolver, miss?
Yes, please.
Any particular make or caliber?
I don't know. That one. That's a nice-looking one, isn't it?
Well, I'd never thought of it as nice looking. Tell me, miss, is this a gift for a male friend or relative, perhaps?
Yes.
Well, it's kind of unusual. You see, most men prefer to select their... Well, would you know the purpose? Is it to be used for hunting or as a sidearm?
Please, sir. If you want to know, the gun is for me. I'm going west with my husband, and I've heard stories about the Indians. I didn't want to alarm him, so...
I understand, miss.
I'll take that one, if you don't mind.
The 38. Yes, ma'am.
And cartridges to go with it.
It ain't much good without cartridges. I'll put it in a nice box for you, too.
Yes, sir.
I'm Marshal Earp. May I come in? I don't often visit the wives of the men I arrest.
What is it you want?
You know, you don't look like the kind of a woman
Who'd be married to Harry Dolan? Outlaw? He's your prisoner. What difference does it make to you what I am or look like?
I just don't want to see you get hurt. I don't think Harry does either.
I couldn't be any more hurt than I am already. I don't understand you.
Look, why don't you just go home? It'll make it easier all around.
You needn't worry, Marshal. You won't have an hysterical woman on your hands. I'll be leaving.
Thank you. Good day, Mrs. Drew.
May I see him this evening?
Certainly.
I don't know anything about these things, sir, but if I could pay you enough money, it's been done. I'm not that innocent. Harry meant to go honest, Marshal. We were going west to California. He had saved some money. Nobody would have known about him. Isn't there anything I could possibly do?
What about the man your husband killed? What about Luke Miller?
Oh, surely, Marshal, you can't call that a crime. Why, the whole town knows that
The town only knows what it reads in the paper. But I know, and you must know, that the man your husband killed is no ordinary robber.
I don't know anything about him.
Well, I didn't expect you to tell me anything. You're loyal. I understand that. But this is what I mean about your being hurt. As long as Harry lives and keeps on running, he'll have nothing but trouble, Mrs. Drew.
Good day, Marshal.
Oh, good evening, Mrs. Drew.
Good evening.
May I, please? Nothing personal, Lieutenant. It's just a regulation. Thank you. Go right in. Paul, you take over. I'm going to make my rounds.
All right.
Did you bring it? Let's have it. Now.
Must it be like this, Harry?
Nobody's going to get hurt. I have everything figured. But you must do exactly as I say.
let me see the shotgun, huh?
The usual, lady.
Evening, Henry.
Howdy, Wyatt. Sure caught you out this afternoon, didn't I?
Caught me out? It's good and clean, Eddie.
That pretty lady you followed to my store. You was sure giving her the eye.
Well, there's nothing wrong appreciating beauty, is there?
Well, appreciating's just about as close as you ought to come to that particular lady, my friend.
Oh.
You know what she bought off me?
Henry, I haven't got the slightest idea.
I know you'll think I'm kidding, Wyatt, but that pretty lady bought herself a gun off me.
A gun?
Yep, a gun. Imagine that. It was a .38. You know what she said she wanted it for? Said she was scared of Indians.
What happened? Harry's loose. He buffaloed me and got loose.
Stop it, Harry, or shoot! What is it, Wyatt? What happened?
Harry's loose. He's gone to the livery stable and he's armed. I'll take the rear, you two men take the front. Get everybody off the street!
Watch yourself. It's a member of the James gang.
Might as well give up, Harry. We've got you caught.
Wyatt.
Get the doctor.
Give this to Ann.
Where is she?
South Road. Hayes Ranch. Tell her. Did it for her.
Harry. Where's Harry?
He won't be coming to meet you. I'll drive you back to town, Mrs. Jones.
The country, the old Wild West country, he made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
The great Allen Pinkerton won fame as Chief of Secret Service for the Union armies during the Civil War. After that, the detective organization he headed became the scourge of outlaw gangs on the western frontier. But sometimes the Pinkertons failed to notify local peace officers of their activities, and it was this neglect which brought Pinkerton into conflict with Wyatt Earp. Their mutual enemy was the Crummy Newton gang of train robbers, and neither Earp nor Pinkerton could afford to quarrel. Not with Crummy Newton and his men riding toward Wichita.
I don't know. That's why I sent for the marshal. Well, here he comes now. Well, thanks for getting here in such a hurry, Marshal. I've seen a lot of dead men in my time, but I've never seen anything like in the back room, laying on the floor.
You men get out of here. Close that door behind you. Shotgun in the face. You know this man, Mr. Regan?
A stranger to me.
How long ago this happened?
Hasn't been more than 20 minutes. We heard the shotgun go off, and I come in here and saw what happened and sent for you.
Killer must have run out the back door. I wonder what he was doing in here. Got no gun, nothing in his pockets except these numbers here. You got any money in that safe?
Not a dime. I use a new safe in my office behind the bar. I rarely use this office except for storage.
Well, open it up and let's take a look.
I can't do that. I mislaid the combination when I bought the new safe.
I'll try these numbers.
Money? Why, it doesn't belong to me. Why, I've got no idea how it got there.
Well, you better start getting an idea.
Mr. Earp, I swear, I know nothing about it.
Stop lying to me. Man's found killed in your place. There's money in your safe, and you're trying to tell me you know nothing about it?
That's right.
No! You should have closed your saloon and run you out of town a long time ago. I'm going to give you one more chance. You start talking and tell me the truth.
I did tell you the truth about not knowing the dead man.
Whose money is that? All right, you're closed. And if my word stands with the judge, you're going to jail.
No. Money belongs to him and Red Bascom.
And who's Red Bascom?
An acquaintance of mine. He asked me would I rent him the use of the safe for a few days. That man's Bascom's pal. I rented him the safe, and that's all I know.
You know more than that.
What?
You know you wouldn't rent that safe just to an acquaintance. Now, who's Red Bascom?
I can't tell you. He'd kill me.
All right, I think I know who he is. It's one of the names that Red Kelly uses, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes.
Red's one of the Crummy Newton gang, isn't he? Dirtiest killers and train robbers out this way.
You want to get me killed?
No, not necessarily. But I didn't ask you to pal up with that kind of man.
Are you leaving the money here?
Yep. Red'll be back for it. If you don't tip him off. And if you do, I'm going to tell Newton you talk to me.
No. I won't tip him off, Mr. Earp. I swear.
This time I believe you, Mr. Regan. Doc Fabrique will be over to make out his coroner's report. You keep everybody out of here.
Yes.
And I don't want excuses. I want to see Marshal Earp. I'm Alan Pinkerton, and I haven't got all day.
We sent for him, Mr. Pinkerton. We had a little trouble over at the Orient Saloon. He should be here any minute.
Probably a drunken brawl. In a properly organized police department, the chief marshal lets his deputies cover the saloon. Who's your chief court official here in Wichita?
That'll be Judge Jewett, sir.
Then please tell him I'd like to see him, Alan Pinkerton. I'd like to speak to the judge and Marshal Earp at the same time.
All right, sir. Oh, this is Mr. Alan Pinkerton, the Pinkerton, Mr. Earp.
Oh, I'm very glad to know you, Mr. Pinkerton.
Why, you're so young, you can't be Wyatt Earp.
Well, we're even. I didn't think you could be Mr. Pinkerton. Just as a matter of form, may I see your credentials?
Do you need all my papers, or would a letter from the governor of Kansas be sufficient?
Well, that'll do. Won't you have a chair?
No, I haven't the time. Merely wanted to check in with you and the local judge. A courtesy call, Mr. Earp.
You after a train robber by the name of Red Kelly, alias Red Baskin?
Why, yes, that's right.
Railroad sent you, huh? Well, I'm after him, too. He just killed one of his pals down at the Orient Saloon.
Murdered? Where's the dead man?
Doc Fabrica, our coroner, is taking care of the body.
Did you see the body?
Yeah, I was pretty badly messed up by a shotgun, but I'd say he was about 35, 6 foot tall. Brown hair, brown mustache.
Poor Williams. I've been afraid of this. He was one of my men. I had him planted in the Crummy Newton gang.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's my fault. I didn't want him to risk it. I should have ordered him not to. Williams joined the Crummy Newton gang more than a year ago. He's been with them ever since. He was going to be our chief witness, and we rounded them up. He was with the gang in the Hannibal and St. Joe robbery last week.
It's a pretty brave try he made. I aim to arrest Red Bascom or Kelly or whatever name he's using tonight if I can.
No, absolutely not. My men will be here in the morning. We'll handle the case.
I'm sorry, sir.
What?
Mr. Pinkerton, the murder was committed in Wichita, and well, we kind of like to handle our own cases.
Why, that's ridiculous. You're not a detective. You're just a cowtown marshal. You must be Judge Jewett.
Yes?
I'm Alan Pinkerton.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Pinkerton?
Not well at all. One of my best men was killed here today.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Young Mr. Earp here says he's going to handle the case.
Well, why not?
Well, I'm just a cowtown marshal, Your Honor.
Now, don't take it wrong, Earp. I merely suggested that you lack the experience. And, Judge, I must ask that you rule him out of the case.
Request denied.
Huh?
Emphatically. Mr. Pinkerton, you have great fame as a detective, but certainly no right to come into Wichita and dismiss our marshal.
Well, thank you, Your Honor. I got an idea how I can nab Red Bascom. I guess I better be working on it. Well, Mr. Pinkerton, I'm mighty glad to be able to work with you.
And what if that boy makes a mess of it?
Mr. Pinkerton, that boy is one of the best marshals on the western frontier. He hasn't mishandled a case yet. If he blunders on this one, I'll authorize you to take over, but not before.
The old yardstick dodge, Mr. Bascom. You tie a couple of matches to the end of it. Did your train robbing pal Newton tell you never to shoot at a match flare in a dark room? Now, come on, get up. Go on.
You have a cigar, Mr. Pinkerton?
No, thanks, Judge. Never used them.
Mr. Pinkerton, meet Mr. Bascom.
That your man?
Yes. Well, you don't waste time, do you? Has he told you where he and Williams hid the money?
No, sir.
$40,000, Earp. It's rather important. I'll make it a whole lot easier on you if you tell me where the money is.
You find it. You're the great detective.
I'll find it. And you'll hang for murdering Williams.
Who's Williams? I never heard of him.
Why, you...
Hold it, Mr. Pinkerton. We haven't got any proof that he murdered your man. As far as the money is concerned, I know where it is.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Look, you want just him and $40,000. You want Newton and the whole gang.
My first job is to recover the hold-up loot. Is it too much to ask that Marshal Earp turn over the $40,000?
I think that request is quite in order, Wyatt.
All right, sir, if that's the way you want it.
But you don't agree.
No, sir, I don't. If Newton finds out that Mr. Pinkerton recovered the money, he'll never come into Wichita.
We'll get him eventually. I must insist, Judge.
All right. Turn over the money, Wyatt.
Yes, sir. Paul, book Mr. Bascom on suspicion of murder. Ollie, put him in cell 2.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pinkerton, the $40,000 is in the back room of the Orient Saloon. I suppose you want to handle this yourself.
That's right. I do.
I'm no great detective, Judge, but I'd still rather have Newton and his whole gang.
It's empty.
Yeah, it sure is. Makes me look kind of stupid, doesn't it?
Well, I knew you'd bungle it. Or did you?
What do you mean?
There was a small fortune. You told me you knew the hiding place and you had the combination. I'm going to have a little talk with Judge Jewett.
Yeah, you do that. Unlock it.
Questioning me is a waste of time.
Somebody took that money.
Oh, what's a trick?
No trick. You've been double-crossed, Red.
Why, that dirty Irisher. Well, nothing I can do about it.
Well, that suits me. I'm releasing you.
What?
Insufficient evidence. Go on, get out of here.
No trick?
Nope.
All right.
Paul, give him his gun and gun belt back. Ollie Taylor. I don't care what he does. Just stay out of sight and follow him.
And don't misunderstand me, Judge. I'm not accusing Earp as to the robbery hall. It may well be as he says that the saloon keeper could open that safe, and that he, the saloon keeper, took the money after Red Bascom's arrest.
Well, I believe Wyatt.
Ah, but do you think he acted within his authority when he released Bascom?
No, Mr. Pinkerton, I don't.
Isn't it true that a man arrested on suspicion of murder can only be released by a judge?
Yes.
Then Earp has arrogated to himself a judicial function.
I'm sure that Marshal Earp must have had some compelling reason when he turned Bascom loose.
All right, Earp. What reason?
Mr. Bascom is small fry, Mr. Pinkerton. But he'll get the money back from the man who took it. And then he'll lead us to Newton.
Stupid thinking.
Hold on now. If we assume that Bascom recovered the money, why do you believe he'd take it to Newton?
Because he's afraid of Newton. Means his life if he makes off with more than his share. I think he'll either try to take the money to Newton or he'll wait until Newton comes into town for the whacking up. But either way, I'll get Newton.
Absurd, a pipe dream. The money is gone and so is Bascom. And I stand here empty-handed because of your impudent effort to play detective.
Wyatt.
Tell Ollie to put 4 more guards on the hotel. Bascom just killed Egan, the owner of the Orient Saloon. Took the $40,000 and my deputies have him holed up in a room over at the Wichita Hotel.
Don't you owe Wyatt an apology?
Well, if this is true, and he goes to the hotel, arrests Bascom, and recovers the money...
Oh, shut up! Look, I want Newton and his whole gang. He's taken 10 times $40,000 from banks and trains. Mr. Pinkerton thinks I'm stupid. Well, I think he's an idiot.
Watch your temper, Marshal. I don't think either of you are stupid. I think you're both trying honestly to clean up the Newtons. You just differ as to method.
Now, listen, this is my case. It always was. My men will be here in the morning, and then we'll proceed as I say. And I wouldn't advise you to try to stop us. Good night, Judge.
Good night. Wyatt, you're on shaky ground, you know. Releasing Bascom was quite out of order.
Sir, Mr. Pinkerton thought I stole that money. I had to release Red, hoping that he'd go after it.
I've stood by you as long as I can, Wyatt.
Sir?
You mustn't have any more trouble with Pinkerton. He carries a special appointment from the governor. He can walk into any federal court and accuse you of obstructing justice.
Even when he's wrong?
Right or wrong, you keep out of his way. He's too big for us, Wyatt. I can't save you again. Good night, Wyatt.
Good night, Judge.
Ollie's got the hotel covered, Wyatt. Wants to know what to do if Bascom makes a run for it.
Follow him.
Loading the punchline special, huh? You expecting to do some long-range shooting tomorrow?
I don't know what I'm expecting.
I overheard Mr. Pinkerton say that his men would be here in the morning.
Yep.
You going to turn the case over to them?
No. But I think Bascom will stay holed up. I think Pinkerton will try and go in after him in the morning. If he does, there'll be a fight. The man I release from jail will kill a Pinkerton or two, and I'll be blamed for it. I won't be marshal anymore. But there are more important things than being a marshal.
Good morning, Al.
Morning, boss.
Crummy Newton rob any more trains?
No, but we got a report last night that he's headed this way.
We'll take care of him later. Red Bascom's holed up in there with the money.
Hey, great work, boss. Mr. Pinkerton's cornered Red. Where's Charlie Williams?
Dead. Killed right here in town.
Bascom?
Yeah.
We're leaving up for Charlie. George, you and Mike take the back. Brick and I'll take the front. Boss, you stay out of this.
I'm not staying out of it.
You got a warrant to search this hotel?
I don't need a warrant.
Well, I say you do.
Earp, you're still stupid.
Look, Mr. Pinkerton, will you give me a chance to work this out my own way?
Now you're obstructing justice and defending a murderer and a thief.
Get out of our way.
Hold it. I warned you, Wyatt.
They haven't got a search warrant. I don't need a warrant. I'm after a murderer. And I think Earp should turn in his star.
He will. There's your search warrant, Mr. Pinkerton. I'm sorry, Wyatt.
Well, at last, we got rid of the local genius, Mr. Earp.
Mr. Pinkerton, he got away. He rode off just as we got around his back.
Which way was he headed?
Straight out of town on the west road.
Let's go get him, boys.
They'll get him.
Sure. If Newton doesn't ambush him.
Wyatt, where are you going?
I think they'll need a little help.
Well, he ought to be here
I was
pretty
ready
quick.
to-
I still
think he'll be here soon.
Been banging around here for 3 days.
Here he comes now. We were talking about you.
The Pinkertons are right behind him. We haven't even got time to make a run for it.
We'll have to bushwhack them. Hide the horses, men. Never mind the fires. Hurry up, get them on
Come
outside.
on, get him under cover over there. All right, everybody stay down now. Wait till I get all the way in.
Hurry up, get them outside.
Come on, get him out of there.
It looks like a bushwhack. Shouldn't we fire a few times to warn the Pinkertons?
No. I want Newton.
The Pinkertons will ride right into that ambush.
None of my business. Pinkerton made me a private citizen.
Here they come.
Hold it. There's their fire. Morning, Pinkerton. You after me?
Stop it. We haven't a chance.
You'll pay for that, mister. The great Pinkerton riding into a bushwhack, just like any greenhorn from New York.
I'm the one you want, not my men.
Oh, there's plenty of time for the killing. Get off your horse. You're hoping I'll make it quick and easy, with a bullet through your head. Back away. I like the looks of you with your hands up, knowing you're gonna get a bullet in your belly.
Take a shot at me, Newton.
You killed him.
No, just creased his skull.
Well, maybe you'd better crease my skull.
Isn't worth going to jail for, Mr. Pinkerton. You can take Newton and his boys back to town.
You won't have any more trouble with Red Bascom, Wyatt.
Is he dead? Bascom brought the money into camp. He's probably hidden over there in the brush someplace.
Al, see if you can find the money bag over in the brush. Let's get the cuffs on these men, put the wounded on the horses. Let's get back to town.
All right, boys, let's look for the money.
Hey, Wyatt, why let Pinkerton take all the credit? We're the ones that saved his life, and we're the ones that did grab that Newton gang.
What are you after, Ollie? Place in history? And most of that stuff's just written from hearsay by men that are too lazy to dig up the real facts. And so, Pinkerton's a big hero, and I'm a skunk. Who's gonna know the difference 100 years from now?
Wyatt, why don't you wait until Mayor Hope and Mr. Murdoch get back from Kansas City? Or let me go to the judge and tell him the truth.
Never draw against the drop, Ollie.
Hello, Wyatt. Ollie. Wyatt, Mr. Pinkerton told me just what happened on the trail today.
Yes, I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't blame you for being sore, but it seems to me when Mr. Pinkerton wants to make amends, you should be big enough to accept his offer.
Earp, I'd like to hire you for my organization at twice what you're getting here.
Of course, I'd beg you to take your star back, but we can't afford to double your salary.
$500 a month and expenses.
Well, I don't want your job, Mr. Pinkerton. First place, I wouldn't work for you.
Then take back your star, with my apologies.
On one condition.
Yes?
Mr. Pinkerton, my deputies feel that they lost out on some glory. I want you to mention their names in your report on this case.
And yours, too.
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Pinkerton, I've done a few smart things and been cussed. I've made a lot of stupid mistakes and been praised, so I just as soon you wouldn't mention my name at all.
Well, if that's the way you want it.
That's the way I want it.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp!